Ever stop to think how much those little impulse buys on your phone are adding up to, and how many subscription payments are sneaking out of your bank account every single month? Before I started using Rocket Money, let me tell you, I had no idea. But the first time I logged in, I saved $435. I couldn't believe it. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. I just love the dashboard. It shows everything in one place, even the subscriptions you forgot you signed up for. And if there's something you don't need, Rocket Money helps you cancel it. Plus, it alerts you if a bill increases or if something unusual pops up in your account. It's basically like having a personal assistant for your money. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/Kim today. That's rocketmoney.com/Kim. rocketmoney.com/Kim. But wait, there's more. Here's hour 4 of the Kim Komando Show. All right, let's start the show with some fun facts. Something that you can use to impress your family members and friends. And this is a strange question. How much does the internet weigh? Have you ever thought about that? How much does the internet weigh? Okay, let me give you some options. Is it about 1 potato? 64,000 strawberries? Maybe it doesn't weigh anything. Or does it weigh about 1 million pounds? I mean, think about that. How much does the internet weigh? Well, according to Wired, the internet weighs, drum roll please, 64,000 strawberries. I know, isn't that really weird? The report says the exact weight of the internet is 53 quadrillionths of a gram. Okay, I don't know how they came up with 64,000 strawberries, but let me tell you, what else weighs nothing but feels heavy? Yes, your inbox. When you're looking at it, it's like 98 unread messages. Oh, the stress of it all. And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, because after all, you are about ready to make sure that you are always tech ahead and never left tech behind in the digital dust, because you have tapped into the nation's largest, best, biggest, award-winning show about all things digital, because after all, I'm America's beloved digital goddess, Kim Komando, here with you once again. And of course, you can find my show all across the United States in over 425 stations, and we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can also get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Komando with a K. And a big hello and salute goes out to all of our listeners on the American Forces Network Radio, reaching over 375,000 U.S. service members. Just love this. 175 countries and 200 ships at sea. And I know you can chat GPT your life away, but when you need trusted advice, because I don't hallucinate, that's why the Komando hotline's open right now at 1-888-825-5254. And if you're just too shy to come on a big time show and podcast, I get that. Just go over to komando.com and hit the link at the top that says Ask Kim. Alrighty, then every single day, I just dive into 35, 40 different sources to make sure that I know exactly what's happening in the tech world. And then here on the show and the podcast, there's this transference of intellect and know-how that happens directly from my brain to yours. And here are 5 things that you need to know what's happening right now. And we're going to start with an app called Telegram. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that if anyone ever asks you to move a conversation to Telegram, it's a sure sign that it's a scam, because over on Telegram, you can find toolkits for just about anything. Fake websites, stolen personal data, phishing scripts, even step-by-step guides, for pulling off pig butchering schemes. It's actually an encrypted messaging app from Russia. It has, listen to this, 700 million users. Wow. Now, some of it, of course, is normal stuff, but it has become a hub for scams. And Telegram keeps saying, we're going to clean it up. We're going to clean it up. They never do. Scams are just everywhere. By the way, crypto scams on the app are up over 2,000% since late 2024. Whoa, okay. Anybody mentions Telegram, I want you to always think about what I'm saying. Do not pass go. Do not go there. You are going to get scammed. Moving on to number 2. It's not just you. It's not just me. Siri just has not been working lately. I mean, it just can't seem to find what you're looking for. Business, phone number, address. I don't know if you've noticed, but lately when I hit the microphone to even tell Siri, like, what to text, it just sits there like, what? Like a goldfish. Apple intelligence is stumbling, so much so that Apple is removing those words from some of its propaganda. Let's face it, Apple hasn't had a major new hit on its hands probably in 10 years. I don't know what's going on over there, and I wish somebody would just fix it already because it's so irritating. Moving on to number 3, once upon a time, flip phones were everywhere. I loved my pink Motorola Razr phone, but guess what? They're back. The Motorola Razr V3 was first released in 2004, $500. That was a lot of money. Motorola sold over 130 million of them. They were a matte, silver aluminum, lightweight, looked cool. So cool that a new generation, one that's fatigued at staring at screens for 5 or more hours a day, one that's burned out with social media, one that's tired of distractions of smartphones, they have suddenly discovered flip phones. That's right. Online searches for flip phones are up more than 15,000%. Wow, isn't that crazy? And Motorola's right there, turning out a new version of the Razr at just $699 each. Coming in at number 4, come with me to Atlanta, Georgia. This is a crazy story. A woman logged onto her computer and she got hit with a pop-up. It said, oh, your Microsoft account was hacked and you have to call this phone number for help. And she's like, okay, I guess I should call it. A man picked up and said, I'm with the FBI. He claimed her bank account was at risk and showed her what it looked like with a legitimate banking screen, $90,000. He told her she had to move her money quickly in order to protect it. Of course, she was panicking. She followed his instructions. She took out 25 grand and then converted it to Bitcoin. Well, a few days later, he called again. This time, she needed to secure the rest, about $176,000, by wiring it to a precious metals dealer. She did what he said, then drove to their office, and then picked up gold bars. A man showed up to collect the gold bars. She said, this doesn't feel real to me. Can I see your FBI ID? He said, I'm not with the FBI. And then just walked off with $176,000 worth of gold. Wow. All right. Let me tell you, folks, you have to be smarter than this. Please, please, please. Never move money just because someone tells you, not for Bitcoin, not for gold, not if they especially tell you that they're with the FBI or the FTC or whoever they want to say who they're with. And finally, it's coming in at number 5. Can you sing it with me? Bad boys, what you gonna do? Okay, remember, helicopters used to chase down those bad guys. Not anymore. Drones. DJI just unveiled a drone that's basically a flying megaphone. It has a ZenMuse V1 speaker. Not sure why they came up with that, but it can blast voice messages at 127 decibels. That's about as loud as a jet engine. It has an attachment that can shine a spotlight a half a kilometer away. And they don't need a live operator. You can upload an audio file, type out a message for text-to-speech, just record yourself on the app. I saw a demo where the drone was hovering over traffic, shouting, no parking, please drive away now. It's like a floating parking cop. Wow. What is that in the sky? All right, let's see. We have some great tips. How to talk to a real customer service rep. How to scan your phone for any type of spyware and malware, and how you can restore some old photos using AI. And of course, we just have the best callers ever. And you have my bad jokes, and you have me, Kim Commando. If you own a home, listen up. This is scary. The FBI is warning about a crime on the rise. Home title theft. And it doesn't happen the way you might think. No break-ins, no stolen keys, just a forged signature on a single piece of paper filed with the county. In minutes, criminals can transfer the title out of your name, then use your ownership to drain your equity or even sell your home. The worst part, most people don't know what's happening until they get collection or foreclosure notices in the mail. That's why I trust Home Title Lock. When you visit HometitleLock.com/Kim, you'll get a free title history report and a 14-day free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection, including 24/7 monitoring of your home's title, urgent alerts to changes, and if fraud does happen. Their U.S.-based restoration team will work to restore your title, covering costs up to $1 million. Don't wait. Protect your home and equity today. Get your free 14-day trial at HometitleLock.com/Kim. That's HometitleLock.com/Kim. Hey, be sure that you enter to win a brand new iPhone 16 Pro at $999 value right now at winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. All right, coming up in just a few minutes, how you can use AI to restore some old photos. And before we get to all of that, Jay in West Monroe, Louisiana, you're here. Thanks for your call today.
Hi, Kim.
Welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm great. What's going on?
Well, first of all, let me say I'm honored to be on your show. I'm excited. But above all else, I'm appreciative for you taking my call and my question. Thank you.
Oh, you betcha. It's an honor for me, too. What's going on?
Well, I have a longtime friend. Like, I've known him all my adult life. We live in different states now. So, our main communication is obviously phone calls. Well, he is convinced that in his building where he lives, the neighbors above him can see everything he's doing, no matter what room he goes in, and they can read his text and they can hear his phone calls. This has been going on a little while. He's a veteran, retired from the Guard, so he lives in a building where his benefits pay part of his rent. And then I've noticed this pattern. This is the second or third place where he's had these issues. And obviously you think, well, I'm wondering, is my friend cracking up? But
right.
Before I confront him about this, I really didn't know where to turn. That's why I called your show, and I'm just so grateful and just looking for some guidance to see, is this a thing where people do this? I mean, like reality TV is so big. Is this a thing where people,
yes,
basically instead of streaming, Hulu or whatever, do they watch their neighbors?
No, they're not watching their neighbors. I'm saying, yes, that people who have mental health issues, this is pretty common. I hear it a lot. Okay.
You mean the viewers or the? No,
for the person who thinks that this is happening to them. I mean,
right.
And I don't know if you've heard me taking these calls, but it's really difficult because you don't want to say directly to them, I think you need some counseling. I mean, that's hard to say to somebody because you don't know what they're going to do next.
Right. And just recently, because, like this has been going on a while, but it didn't really, we were still able to communicate. But just recently, when he's saying that they're reading his text and hearing his phone calls, I mean, we can't even have a normal conversation.
What you're hearing is paranoia. It could be an anxiety disorder, or it could be bipolar, it could be schizophrenia. I mean, you can't diagnose this, and I can't certainly do it here.
Right. And I'm going on limited information just from what I get from him.
But here's what I would say. Here's what I would say to him. Tell me exactly what's going on. Have him tell you everything. Okay. And I would say, I can't, I'm your friend and I care about you, but I can't help you. I can't make all this stop. You have to go to a higher authority than me. He'd be like, what? You have to go a higher authority. I can't. I'm states away. I can't help you. But I don't want you to suffer.
He goes to a therapist. He goes to a therapist as part of his.
Perfect.
With veterans.
Perfect.
So,
okay. So that's the authority. That's the authority. So you need to tell him that the therapists are able to decipher exactly what's going on because they're trained to do this. I'm not trained.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not trained to do this.
You're basically highly unlikely that any of it's true. What you're saying. But right. Huh?
No, you're going to say, this must be very stressful for you. You're probably losing sleep. So you're understanding, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just because I've taken the calls and it's so sad because I wish I could.
Okay. All right. So it's a thing, but it's a thing on the person like my friend that has a condition, basically a mental condition.
Correct.
Yeah, I got you.
And so that's where if you use a higher authority, you're not telling them that you're not able to help them. You're just saying that you have to go to somebody who's different. And I'm not there, but you need to talk to your therapist about this. I mean, he's already going to a therapist, and then that therapist can be that higher authority. That therapist knows what's going on. Okay. He's got some type of paranoia, anxiety disorder, schizophrenia, bipolar. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trained in that. I'm just a computer geek. So, but these are phrases that I have found that work for me that I bet you will work for you. And you know what? You're a good man, Jay. You're a good friend. You are. And it's so kind of you to call me. And truly, it's an honor for me to help you and your friend. Let's see who's next. Rick in Indianapolis. Hi there, Rick.
Hi, Kim, digital goddess.
Finally, somebody shows me some respect around here. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you for taking my call.
You betcha. What's going on?
I play this one really basic solitaire game just about every day. And I keep getting these pop-up ads, which I don't care to pay to get them out of there. And the one that's really grabbed my attention is, you can make cash playing bingo or playing this solitaire and that. And I was raised to think that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Mm-hmm. What can you tell me about these things?
Well, hate to break it to you, but by playing solitaire or bingo or whatever that game is online, you are not going to be able to pay your bills, okay? Most of these apps, you gain points, and as you get more points, that's when you can turn it into a gift card. And typically, they won't even send you the gift card until you reach at least $10 or $15 or even $20. Some folks, the folks that I have spoken to, the most that they make is probably $20 a month. And now, if you do compete, and sometimes in tournaments, there may be some cash prizes for the tournaments, but it's not like solitaire is going to be this big tournament play, and it's not like esports. So then you start thinking like, all right, so now I'm playing solitaire, and I'm playing for free because I don't want to pay. So this way, I don't see the ads. So what are they doing? That's where you have to look at your permissions and look at the terms and conditions, because this solitaire game could be getting a copy of anything that you have on your phone. It could be tracking your location. It could be tracking what you buy online, the ads that you see. And so in case you're ever wondering, is Facebook really listening? Because a lot of people think that, you say something and all of a sudden you start seeing ads for it on Facebook. Is that it's not necessarily that's Facebook's listening. It could be one of these nefarious apps that you're using. And the app is actually doing the listening and doing all the tracking, but then selling that information off to Facebook. So, you used a very good phrase, Rick, and that was, if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably bad. Okay. So for you to sit there and play solitaire or whatever and to think that you're going to make a whole bunch of money, it's just not realistic. Now, if you do need to make money, there are legitimate ways for you to make money. Like, for example, you could sign up for Amazon Turk. And so instead of playing solitaire, maybe you sort, a list, or you say, what color is this on the screen? Things that AI just can't do on a regular basis with a lot of accuracy. Humans are doing. Again, that's Amazon Turk. You can just sign up. And, I actually interviewed a guy who's making like $40,000 a year in his spare time on Amazon Turk. So you want to look for legitimate opportunities. And if that doesn't float your boat, we have a whole list of them over at commando.com. Just search for Make Money at Home. And the worst thing you can do, though, is to Google search that. So don't do that because you will get scammed. So just do that search work for home over at commando.com, because that's where you'll see a whole list of great opportunities. All right, ever pull out an old photo of your grandparents, your mom, or whatever, and the photos just doesn't look good. You have torn edges and scratches and fading, maybe even some creases. That's where AI photo restoration comes in. Now, you don't need Photoshop anymore. New AI tools can fix the damage in seconds. Scratches, tears, water stains, you name it. They can sharpen blurry faces, bring these faded colors back to life, and even fill in missing parts of an image. So these are the ones that I want you to check out. First up, MyHeritage Photo Repair. It's a great place to start. Just upload the photo, cleans it up. Another option, Remini AI. It's really great for sharpening fuzzy faces. And then finally, Vance AI Photo Restorer removes creases, stains, and facial damage. And it's also good for portraits. All right, stay right where you are. We have more phone calls coming up that you don't ever want to miss here on the Kim Komando Show.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
Okay, this is just a great tip, and I want you to remember it because once you use it, you'll be like, oh, gosh, thank you, Kim Commando. Let's say you and your friends are at a festival, you're at a park, you're having a great time, and suddenly you get separated from your group. This is a sea of people. You have no clue where anyone else is located. Fear not, dear one, because your smartphone and Google Maps is going to save the day. Now, to find your friends, drop a pin of your exact location on Google Maps and then just share it through a text. Super easy. At first, you have to make sure your location's turned on and accurate. Then find that blue dot on the map that represents your location and give it a little tap. Well, that brings up location details. And then this is where the magic happens. You see a button that says share your location. Just click on that button and then you're prompted to choose how long you want to share your location and which app you want to share it through. And after that, just pick the person that you want to share it with, hit send. And then everybody knows where everybody's located. Yes. And I know you're sitting there saying, I wish I knew that before I went to Coachella. Yeah. Hey, coming up later, how you can scan your phone for spyware and malware and keyloggers. You don't want to miss that. And how about we go back to the phones with Sarah in Portland, Oregon. Hi there, Sarah.
Hi, how are you today, Kim?
Good. What's going on?
Well, I have a question about AirTags and tracking.
Okay.
And I don't mean things like tracking things. I mean tracking people. I suspect I have an AirTag on my keys, which was given to me by a family member, okay. And I asked for it, and it was very helpful in finding my keys. But months down the road, I was told, "Oh, I knew where you were because I was tracking you."
Oh. That's frightening, isn't it?
A little bit. So, but it was fine. It was a family member, and it was no big deal. And it was kind of nice to know that somebody could find me if I were in an accident or whatever. But a little bit further down the road, now we have a disjoint in the relationship. Okay. And so I suddenly started hearing the AirTag go off when I'm driving and there's no one else around and I don't have Apple products, so it's not me. And then I get little hints along the way that, oh, I knew where you were because of so-and-so. So I highly suspect I am being tracked with the AirTag on my keys, which is no longer on my keys. But I want to know how those work and if I was just being paranoid or if the AirTag goes off for other reasons, how I would know.
All really good questions, right? Especially if you don't want to be tracked anymore by this person. So, What's going on? So now, when you get in the car, are you hearing like a weird chime? Is that it?
Yeah, it's the little chime, and that seems to me like the chime that went off when I was looking for my keys, and we found them. Okay, so what it is in your car, somebody has placed an AirTag, okay? Mm-hmm. And so that person's AirTag is attached to their device, and so the AirTag is letting you know that you are being tracked. Now, there have been some recent changes to this. If you haven't already updated your Android-based phone to the latest version, make sure that you do that because really, literally, within just the last week, Apple and Google got together and said, after 3 years, I think we need to solve this AirTag tracking problem. Because, of course, with an Apple AirTag, is that if you have an Apple phone, it will go ahead and say, this item has been detected with you. And so with Android, Google-based products, now Google says, okay, we're going to start alerting. Now, what you can do is Apple actually has an app in the Google Play Store called Tracker Detect. And it's made by Apple. So when you start looking for it, make sure that it says the developer is Apple. And so it says Tracker Detect. And then it will go ahead and try to find an AirTag and then let you know on an Android-based device that it's there. Now, a lot of people are giving it like really crappy reviews, and it's a crappy product, okay? Because unlike with an iPhone, is that you are automatically notified when an AirTag is there. With an Android-based phone, without this recent update, is that you'd have to use this app called Tracker Detect, and then it would take 10 minutes to find it. And you're like, okay, wow, this is a really long time. So
But if in fact you do hear that chime, you may not even need the app to tell you that it's there. It probably is there, especially if somebody's saying, hey, why were you at the Dollar General store last night when you said you were going to Costco or whatever it may be? Right. And so now it's a matter of trying to find it in the car. And the only way to really do that is to keep listening for that sound.
Mm-hmm. Will an AirTag go off for any other reason? Because the AirTag is actually on my keys. I know where it is, but I did not know why it's going off. And I did not suspect I was being tracked until I started hearing it go off why is it going off?
Well, the AirTags are designed to make a sound when it's separated from the owner's device.
Okay.
So it's going to keep making those sounds. I misunderstood. I didn't realize that it was still on your keys. I thought maybe there was another one that you found in the car. So the AirTag is designed. So basically, if you don't want to be tracked, you have to take the AirTag off. Now, if you are looking for a tracker that will go ahead and tell you where your keys are based on an Android, those are really wonderful things. Companies like Pebbletree, Motorola, Eufy, they make them, and you can find them on Amazon.
Yeah, and I've got one of those now. The AirTag is now sitting in my office, indicating I'm at work all the time.
Which, you know what, you are such a hard worker, Sarah, all the time. All the time you're working. I mean, but you bring up an interesting point, and I'm really glad that you took the time to call, because a lot of people, they're wondering, like, well, how does this person know where I am all the time, and how do these work? It's pretty basic technology. But as I mentioned, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, there's been some major changes. So again, if you haven't automatically updated your iOS or Android-based device to the latest operating system, make sure that you do that now, because Apple and Google finally got together to solve this problem. Yes, finally. All right. Who has not been stuck on the phone yelling at a bot that just doesn't get it? All you want is a real person who can actually help. Let me tell you, automated systems have been around since, this is the year, 1934. That's when Bell Labs created the first answering machine. I'm sure that's a Jeopardy question somewhere. AT&T held it back at first, worried that people would stop answering their phones. Gosh, that's something. Well, now AI bots handle calls. They're usually fine, but sometimes you just want to talk to a human. So how do you skip the bots? Well, a few ways. When calling customer service, press 0 all the time or stay completely silent. That will trick the bot into sending you to a person. Saying representative sometimes work. If you're stuck, social media is your best friend. You see, companies hate bad PR, so tagging them in a tweet or a post with your issues can get their attention super fast. All right, stay right where you are. Going to be talking to, I think Tamara in Oregon Coast. She's going to be next, and she's got a really interesting question about her business. And then later on, how you can scan your phone for spyware and a lot more here on the Kim Komando Show.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Let's see. Tamara in Oregon Coast. Hi there. Welcome.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for taking the time today.
You betcha.
I am an illustrator and small business owner in Brookings, Oregon, which is right near the California border. I've had a brick and mortar store for 4 years, and I've been selling online since 2010. I've had my products scraped to other sites many times before, but my problem that I wanted to share with you today is a bit bigger. They actually registered a domain name. My business site is pithitude.com, and they registered the site pithitude.shop. And then they scraped my site of all my products and packed it into that site.
Okay.
And it's completely fraudulent. They don't have any access to my product line. The only links that work are for taking people's credit card information. So besides being very concerned about my reputation, I'm worried about people who think that they're shopping from me and are going to have their money taken.
Yeah, they're getting scammed, and there's no way they're ever going to come back to you. Right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're starting to get Google alerts on your business name that people say, don't go there. Don't go. I got ripped off. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a big problem. I have to preface this, Tamara, by saying I'm not a lawyer, can't give you legal advice, all that other good stuff. Okay. Just to keep the FCC happy. Do you have any registered trademarks, copyrights?
Yes, both.
Excellent. You're so smart. On your .com website, I want you to make sure that you have at the very bottom the name and of the trademark and your number of your trademark. If you go to commando.com and you go all the way to the bottom, you're going to see things like Kim Commando's registered trademark, 2 million, blah, 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 blah. Digital Goddess, registered trademark, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all this other stuff.
Okay.
The reason why that's there is precisely why you need it.
Okay.
Because when you have a registered trademark, is that all of a sudden you get to go to the top of the food chain. What I mean by that is that there's it's called the Internet Corporation of Assigned Names and Numbers, ICANN, ICANN. They are, if you will, considered like the chief of all domains. Okay. They settle domain disputes. You have a dispute with a domain, so you have to go to the Internet Corporation of Assigned Name and Numbers, and you fill out a form, and you say, they are violating my copyright and my trademark, and here are my numbers, because that's how you settle a dispute. The FBI can't help you. Google can't help you. You have to go to the source, and that's ICANN. And that's why it's important for anybody. If you have whatever size business you are, no matter what you're doing, if you have trademarks and copyrights, make sure that you put that at the bottom of your main homepage. Every single page, as a matter of fact. Put it in your terms and conditions of service, whatever you might want to have, your privacy policies, so that this way you are covered in the event of if something were like this to happen in the future. So I guess the other question is, what can you do to prevent scraping of a website? It's been going on forever. What you want to do is slow down page views from any bots, because the bots are the ones that are doing the scraping. And there are some steps on how to do this on whatever your hosting provider that you have. So you might want to go ahead and look that up from your provider. Again, you just want to slow down the page views from bots, because those are the ones that are doing any scrapes. Now, if you have an intellectual property right attorney, somebody who you know, somebody you can contact, they can walk you through all this. And sometimes it helps if an attorney sends a letter as well to the ICANN organization. But that's where you want to go. And if you need any help after this, just go ahead and give me a call back. That's why I'm here. And let's see, Alan in Indianapolis. Glad to have you with us.
Hey, Miss Kim, how you doing?
I am fantastic. Thanks for your call.
Hey, I'm a father of 5 grown children, and they gave my wife and I one of these digital picture frames for a birthday once. But what we want to do, since my father passed away and somebody gave us some money, is we want to give them all a digital picture frame this year that has the ability to just send to one email, and everybody gets everybody's pictures all at once.
What a great gift that is. And basically, you're going to purchase a frame for each of the family member, and then you create an account or accounts on the frames. You do that in probably an app, or you can do it on a website. And then what you do is you're going to create shared albums or groups. You can invite all the kids to join the group or the album by using their email addresses. And then once they're joined, every one of your children can upload photos to this shared space. One of the best photo frames out there is called the Aura Carver. That's AURA Carver. We'll send you out. When we put you on hold, we'll send you out a link to it. So don't worry about it. They're not very expensive. They're about $150 each. But it's the one that I've used with my family, and it's really wonderful. It's just really simple to use. It's easy. And especially around the holidays, it does make a really great gift, because now everybody can share all their photos and everybody's like kind of all synced up. And what's nice, you can set it up as horizontally, vertically, whatever it may be. And it's a pretty good size frame. It's 10.1 inch. And again, it's called the Aura Carver, AURA Carver. Alan, hang on the line. Lovely Amber will send you out a link to that so you can take a look at it right now on Amazon, and appreciate you getting through today. Hey, just a reminder, you can get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. It's really a lot of fun. You can take me on a walk. You can take me, let's see, I don't know, maybe on a drive. You can play the show while you're playing pickleball. I don't care. Even when you're cleaning the house. See, science has proven that when you listen to the Kim Komando Show as the show or as a podcast, you just are so much smarter. About 89%, I think, is the actual number. All right, I'm kind of making that up, but you get the drill. I really want you to check out the podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for Commando with a K. All right, coming right back, how you can scan your phone for spyware and keyloggers here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, do you ever get that feeling that someone knows too much about what you're doing on your phone, like they're reading your text, watching what you do? It may not be in your head. Usually it's someone close to you that puts spyware. It's like a keylogger. It can be installed in minutes. It runs silently in the background, logging every single text, every password, every private moment. There are signs. Your phone starts acting up. Apps open on their line. Autocorrect gets weird. Your data usage spikes. The battery drains fast. The phone is hot to the touch. It all adds up. Now, if this hits close to home, don't brush it off like you're being paranoid. You have to trust your gut. Back up your files. Factory reset the phone completely, change every password, because after all, think about it. There's a reason you checked in the first place. You know, I just want to say thank you. A couple of years ago, I launched this newsletter called The Current, and not really knowing how much you guys and gals would really love it. But as it turns out, you so love it. It has a 5 out of 5 star rating over at Trustpilot, 5 out of 5 star rating over at Google Reviews. And if you haven't checked it out yet, it's a mishmash of deep dives and tech news and tips, device advice, things that are happening in the tech industry. And I write this thing for you every single day. No AI. It is me from you, so that this way you know exactly what's going on. So if you haven't already tried it, I have a secret to tell you about. And by the way, 650,000 folks get it every single day. The secret is that you can enter to win a brand new iPhone 16 Pro right now, a $999 value. And when you enter to win the contest, guess what? You're automatically signed up for my free newsletter too. And if you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. But let me tell you, you're not going to want to. So here's what you need to do. Go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. And I'm not going to sell, lease, distribute your email address to anybody ever. So don't worry about that. But again, I want you to enter to win a brand new iPhone 16 Pro. And by the way, if you already get the Current, you can also enter to win. What you want to do, once again, is to go to winfromkim.com. And that's the end of hour 4. But I'm sure in your podcast player, there are some shows that you haven't listened to. Come on. Just fire up your podcast player and get more tech know-how, whether you're walking or on your commute or whatever you might be doing.